session online. Today we are going to be doing a little bit of painting, which should be a good laugh.
Yeah, because I am not a painter at all, so this will be interesting.
What we're going to be doing is we're going to follow a classic Bob Ross painting tutorial, so the joy of painting. You can find these videos online really easily, so I've just got one today off of YouTube. I've just typed in Bob Ross, the joy of painting. They're half an hour, so you don't have to take like a huge amount of time doing them, but it's really nice, it's quite relaxing. And following on from other videos, it's a really good mindful activity, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which you can put, all of your concentration into just for that half hour. So all you're going to need is some paper, some brushes, some of the main colours. So we're going to use red, yellow, and blue, and white, and then we're going to mix green and brown. Some water to clean your brushes. And that's about it.
Yeah. We will send you out what you need to get involved in this. So we will send you out some paintbrushes, although we won't be able to send out the exact paintbrushes that we might be using today. We will send you paintbrushes that you can use to do this kind of painting. We will also send you the paints that you would need, and we'll send you some paper, some nice quality paper so you can paint onto that. So yeah, we'll send you everything you need. All you need to provide is a pot to put the brushes in and some water to clean them.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that they can use as a palette?
Yeah, so I don't actually, when I'm painting at home, I don't actually use a palette. I just use an old Tupperware box from like Takeaway. You can either use the lid, which is great, or the actual pot itself, which is what I do. Mainly because I make a mess and it's got big tall sides,
It doesn't go
so
everywhere.
it doesn't go everywhere.
Yeah, let us know if you want to pack, let us know if you want to get involved, and we will get what you need sent out to you so you can participate.
Okay, we'll get started then. So in the video that we're watching of Mr. Ross, he's got some really fancy colours which we don't have. So we're making do, and we're going to mix our own versions of those colours. So what I've sent out, or what we've sent out in the post, is some of the primary colours. So we'll just send out white, which you just leave as white, yellow, red and blue. Now we're going to also need green. To make green you want to mix a yellow and a little tiny bit of blue, which I've put into this corner here. So if you just mix that up.
Do I need to use a specific brush for this, or can I use any brush?
You can use any brush,
okay,
whichever one you fancy. So I've just always put in more yellow than blue, because the blue otherwise is going to take over and you're going to end up with a really, really dark colour. So as you can see there, I've just mixed a sort of your average green. If you wanted to make the green darker, then you can just add a little bit of blue in it. Or if you want to make it lighter, a lot of people think you should add white, but actually add yellow in. It'll make it a lot more sort of lime green. If you put white into it, it'll go a sort of paler green. So if I mix a tiny bit into that one, I take a bit of white, it goes a sort of pale minty colour. Whereas if you put yellow into it, I'll put that into this one, put a little bit in there, it goes sort of, I've got a bit of white on my paint actually, but it'll go a sort of more lime green sort of colour. Yeah?
Yeah.
So the other colour that we'll need is brown, and to make brown basically you mix all of your three primary colours. So again, don't put too much blue into it because the blue will take over. So you want to mix the yellow and the red, and then add in a little bit of blue. And it should, oh, I've got a bit too much red in my one, mix into a nice sort of brown colour. So with my one, I've got way too much red in mine. You might have way too much red in yours as well. So if that's the case, just add a little bit of blue and yellow. and keep mixing it until you get your nice brown colour.
I did not know that those colours made brown.
So with the brown, obviously if you wanted it to be more of like a burgundy colour, then add more red. If you want it to be more of a murky brown, then add a bit more yellow, or like an orangey brown then. And if you wanted it darker, then add a bit more blue, or add you can add a little bit of black into it as well, which will make it a sort of darker brown then. And obviously if you wanted a pale brown, you can add white into it.
Okay, now just work it back and forth, up and
Is it
down,
gonna
get a
hurt
nice
me?
even distribution of color.
You just get to it.
Now, I'm
Bob.
going to wash the brush, and we wash it with odorless paint
He
thinner.
does.
Hey.
Oh, okay. Right, he's
So
going
be
in.
careful, learn how to contain this.
He's going in with.
Alrighty, let's do a simple
Like a
little
light
picture today
blue.
that'll just give you an idea of how
Yeah.
this fantastic technique works. Some amount of paint out, and beat it into the bristles. Really work this paint into the bristles. You're looking for a nice even distribution of color throughout the
He's
bristles.
gone for a light blue,
We'll start
so I'm
right
going
up
to
here at
mix
the
it
top,
with white
and we
and
just make
brown.
little X's, little crisscross pattern. Come all the way across the top. There we go.
And he's going for
Now
a
your brush is
crisscross.
picking up the magic white, and automatically the sky is going to get lighter in value as it works toward the horizon.
I'm getting it all over the table.
So just like
See how easy that was?
Yeah.
Okay. And very gently, we'll just blend this out. Now it's very easy to make a sky darker, but it's a son of a gun to make it lighter. If you want to make it a little darker, all you do is add a little more blue. A little more blue.
I'm
This
gonna add
stuff is
some
really
white into
strong.
mine.
And go right back through the same procedure, and you can darken the sky very easily.
He's doing crisscrosses. I can't do crisscrosses for mine.
Now, another thing that seems to give us a lot of problems is almighty clouds. So let's spend a
These
second
jaws
here and make
looks
us
like
a
a
cloud.
sky.
And here we use the fan brush. And I'm going to take the fan brush and load it full of
Oh my god, I've got
white
red
paint.
into mine.
Load it full. A lot of paint in the bristles.
Oh my god. I'll just get the
Now.
sunset.
Go up here and decide what we
Sunset
want to have your
skyline
little
is gonna
cloud
be.
float around. And you touch
Oh
the
my god,
canvas.
look how much red
Just
went
make
into
little
it.
tiny circles. Just work it, work it, work it. Do it rapidly. Push hard and get away from it. Don't keep working the same area.
Oh,
All you'll have is a big cotton ball up in the sky.
I think my brush is too big.
Maybe we'll put
I'm gonna have to use a smaller one.
I've put too much paint in the beach.
Put a bit more water into it.
Like
On your
the
brush, I mean, yeah. I know.
Does that work?
Nah, it'll come off. Like I said, acrylic is water based, so it'll come off the table with a bit of soapy water. The only thing it won't come off though is your clothes. So
Don't get it on my
don't get it on your clothes.
stuff is really strong. And go
So-
right back through the same procedure. And you can darken the sky very easily.
I think he's going in with white. So I'm just going like white.
Now,
on my
another
brush
thing
there.
that seems to give us a lot of problems is almighty clouds. So let's spend a second here and make us a cloud.
We're making
And
a
here we
cloud.
use the fan brush. And I'm going
It's not quite like his.
It's not bad though.
It's a cloud.
It could be. You know exactly what it is when you look at it. And then what he's doing is like fluffing them up.
With the brush.
So like just wetting it
Yeah.
and then like fluffing them. I say that like I know what I'm doing. I've got a clue. So that they don't look so hard, I think.
Yeah. Might definitely need that.
Fluffing, fluffing, fluffing.
I wasn't joking when I said that I'm not an artist or a painter.
I think you just do it being a little bit too precious with it. Just like go in and Because clouds aren't tidy.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I've gone to the other extreme now where it doesn't resemble a cloud at all.
Mine doesn't exactly look cloudy.
So then you use that brush, the
To
fanning
fluff them.
brush, to fluff them. To wet it, and then
Yeah.
Now over here, we'll blend this one a little. Now we'll fluff it, and we're just going to gently lift upward. And don't worry if you get some of these little things up in the sky. Okay. Now very gently, we'll hypnotize that.
okay, we'll just maybe gently fluff it.
Let's now make an almighty mountain. Everybody likes mountains.
We're making a
no matter if you live in
mountain.
Florida or Alaska.
I'm excited.
Mountains are still pretty. We're really pushing the
So just
paint
gonna
right
make a
into the
dark
fabric.
colour then.
So is that like a sort of like black?
Yeah, so if we just take brown
Yeah.
and mix in a little bit of blue. Just make like a darker brown basically. Yeah?
Yeah, mine's not as dark as I am.
There.
And then he's just making a little mountain.
Okay, that's better. I don't even know how to start.
So just make a little peak
Yeah,
and like brush it downwards.
okay.
And then once you've done that, just like flick it that way. Does that make sense?
So I've got my peak,
Yeah.
and then just
Yeah, I use the side of the brush
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
And go down.
just from the top.
Yeah, and make the peak there.
Yeah.
That's it. There you go.
Oh, I've got red in it.
That's right. So that's all he's doing is like dragging it down like that. So it makes a sort of slope sort of thing.
I don't know if mine's in proportion. Doesn't look like a mountain that I've ever
And
seen.
all we're looking for is just a basic outline for this mountain.
So it's just a basic outline. So
And you may have noticed by now, we use no patterns, we do no sketching. We let this flow right out of our heart up to the canvas. There. Now with a larger brush, I'm just going to pull this down. One thing about mountains when you're painting them, they should always be more distinct at the top than they are at the bottom.
Mine looks like a volcano. Mount Etna.
that's fine.
That'll do, I think.
Yeah?
It
Happy?
sort of looks like a mountain.
Yeah, it does.
I would have liked another peak. Maybe I'll do another peak.
Go for it.
We allow the magic white to mix with the paint, and this happens automatically. We don't have to worry about it or think
It's
about
not as
it.
bad as I thought it was gonna
It
look.
looks really good.
All right.
It looks
Let's
nothing
put
like
some snow
his.
on this almighty.
Mine doesn't look anything like his either, but it's so good.
And we're going to start right up here on this peak,
So he's gone in with a
Just
little
let
bit
this
of
paint
white.
flow right down the mountain. And you want the paint to
make-
break like this, so it
Okay.
creates all the little rocks and stones and highlights and shadows in your mountain. There. Now, light's gonna strike right along this peak also. And maybe just a little touch back in here. Now let's build some shadows, and we'll just use a little bit of the Prussian blue and white. Maybe a touch more. There we go. Now the shadows will run in the opposite direction. We'll start here. Just let the shadows run right across like
He's gone
this.
in with like a
There
lighter,
comes a shadow.
slightly lighter version of that.
Okay, and we'll put one back here. And we've decided this peak is behind the mountain. So all we do is take this shadow and bring it right through. And automatically you just pushed a mountain around. On this canvas, you're the creator. Anything that you want, you can build here. This is your world. Your dreams come real here. All right.
Not gonna lie, this isn't doing well.
Now, maybe we'll add just a couple more little peaks in here. Maybe there's a happy
How
little
has he
peak
done
right here.
this? Okay, he's put another peak in here.
We put the highlight in first. And then we give him his own private little shadow right there.
He's got a little shot.
Now, this is a very basic, simple little mountain. And as the series progresses, we'll do some that are a little more complicated if this is too easy for you.
It's the first time I've properly looked at.
Okay. Now, as we had talked about earlier, we always want it to be more distinct on the top than it is on the bottom. So, using the large brush here, I'm going to very gently tap the
It's just
bottom.
like it.
I'm tapping. All I want to do is diffuse. I don't want to destroy it.
Okay, he's diffusing.
There we go. Always following the angles. Now, very gently, lift upward using the brush flap. Look at that. Look
Okay.
at that mist.
For the best mountain, but you can sort
See, I
of
knew
tell
you
it's
could
a
do it.
mountain.
All right. I think it's time we had some fun now. Let's get over here into the sap green and just load this brush full of paint. Just put a lot of paint into the brush. Just really work it into the bristles. And we're going to go right along here and touch and push. Just push.
Ooh,
Just like so.
making some grass. Good.
And this is where you need the almighty easel because you're really pushing hard here. You're pushing the paint right into the
And
fabric.
it's pushing. Oh my god.
Okay, there we go.
How do I make my white
Just push it in.
less hard?
This is just straight sap green. And you're bending the bristles. Most important that you bend the bristles. Down a little bit.
Need to make a darker green for the
Okay.
bottom. So I'm gonna get more green actually.
My mountains are cracking me up. And I'm missing some sky here. I've got some.
Yeah, you've done the mountains a bit too low down. You can fill that in after. It's all good. So I'm just gonna mix a bit more green.
So are you making a new green from scratch?
No, I'm just adding it into the other one. And then I'm going to add a bit more blue to it just to make it like slightly darker. Because we can lighten it up again with more yellow if we need to.
So you've added more blue, yeah?
Yeah.
This is a technique I can get on board with.
I think it looks lovely. Apart from the missing sky.
Yeah, that needs to be fixed.
So what we've done is just made a really dark green by mixing blue and yellow and then tiniest bit of black.
Okay.
Mine's more brown than green though. But whatever. My trees are so bad.
You can tell they're trees
Lovely said no, they're not, while laughing.
because they look. No, they do. They look like little Christmas trees. They just need to be more green.
Oh, well, I've gone for the shadow look, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're doing
Painting
with
put a
your
little more
fan
dark
brush.
in here. You need dark in order to show light. So here I'm just applying a little.
He's doing a straight line
Yeah.
down like that.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
the peak, and then he takes the corner and he sort of goes like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. This isn't gonna resemble a tree. It's like no tree I've ever seen.
Right, so we've made a yellowy green now.
My
There we
trees
go.
have gone to.
What brush is he
There. Look at all the little rascals. Okay. With a knife here, I'm just using a point. Now scratch a few little trunks here and there. See, already it looks
Right,
like
so
we
I'm
have a
making a
multitude of
little-
trees and stuff back here.
yellowy green?
Okay.
So I'm just adding
Now
more
let's move a little
yellow
forward in the
to
painting.
the green that I already had.
And I'm gonna come right
And
about
then
I'm
here.
gonna brush
There
it.
we go.
I'm gonna-
And we'll drop a bigger tree in here.
Right, chill out, Bob.
There he
We've
goes.
not quite caught up with you yet.
Very
Chill for a minute. So you need some bushes around here.
Where's his bushes?
Katie's having a breakdown. Right.
I
Just
was
in
going
front of-
okay until the trees. And they just look the saddest little trees you've ever seen. Right, let's
So just
get-
in front of the trees, he's been making some like yellowy
Okay,
coloured.
so that's like yellow and...
Yeah, so just add it into your like green that you've already made.
Okay. It's like a nice, vibranty kind of green.
Yeah. You're gonna need more yellow than that. Just stick a load in. Yeah. He's made like an orangey colour
Okay.
to do a few more
right now.
bushes.
Down the bottom down here, we need some nice little bushes that are happening. One thing to be very
Bush
careful,
there?
don't kill all your dark areas. If you kill them, your painting becomes very flat. There we go. And maybe there's a happy little bush right here. And a big old one here. Big tree here.
I don't understand.
All right.
So he's made like an orange. How
A
do
little
I
something
make the
underneath here,
orange?
just to
So
give it a
make
little
an
more depth.
orange with a little bit of yellow
There
and
we
a
go.
little bit of red. And then he's just like sticking them in.
Now we'll cut a few
Wherever
little
you fancy.
sticks and twigs here and there. And this helps create depth in the painting. It shows different planes. And the more planes you can show, the deeper the painting will be.
Mine don't really look like
So we'll just cut a
bushes,
few
to
of
be
them in
fair.
here. You know, it's interesting. I was doing this painting one time at a mall, and I had a man come along, and he says, you know, I've been to that location. He says, except it had a little pond right here. He says, if it had a little pond there, I'd buy that painting from you. So I told him, I said, you start writing the check, and by the time the check's done, you'll have a little pond. So watch right here. Let's see what happens. All you do is take this almighty brush.
I don't think
pull
that's
it down,
dark enough. Yours is more like a brown.
and we'll create a
What do you
little
mean?
pond right
This
there.
colour.
It's that easy.
Oh no, then that'll be fine. If you want it a little bit more brown, you can put a tiny bit of blue in it.
And I'm going to take a little bit of Prussian blue.
And,
just to
and
make
that's
this
meant
pond
to
a
be
little bit
like,
deeper.
what are they?
I want to have enough
Just
room
like
for the
little
trout to
bushes.
live in here.
I think. So what he was
Just a
doing was
little
like
bit deeper.
dabbing the colour on,
Yeah.
and he was like
This is one thing
scraping
that's so
it with the back of the
fantastic
brush.
about this style of painting, right?
So that
Right in
it looks
midstream,
like
you can
twigs.
change your mind. You can completely change a painting in just a second. And here I'm just pulling across to make it look like water.
And just anywhere.
Yeah.
Isn't that something? Now we'll take just a tiny bit of the magic white.
He's putting the
And we'll
pond
put a
in
little
now.
water line
I
in
don't know
here.
if I can. Oh, bloody hell. Okay, I guess a bush is going in there then.
There, just act
Yeah, I
like you're
don't
trying
think
to
I
cut
can
a hole
manage
right
a
through the
pond.
canvas. And let's take. And
I don't even know what I'm doing anymore.
I sort of wiped out a couple of these little bushes here, so let's just put them back in. Maybe on each side there we have some nice little bushes.
Should I try and
Okay, now I'm going to add just a tiny bit
I haven't got room for a pond.
of the Van Dyke brown and burnt umber to this magic white to make it it's a very thin paint. And with that, we'll just take and pull down here a little bit and make us a nice little bank here. Just some ground for the bushes and trees here to sit on.
I'm
Don't
gonna
want to
make
fall
like
up
a
in the water and make a
bluey,
big splash.
greeny.
I'd disturb that old trout that lives in there.
So what do you do? You went in here.
Now maybe highlight it with just a tiny bit of white.
Mine looks like,
And this is a
literally now
very,
looks
very
like a
gentle
volcano
touch, just
because
enough to get
this
the paint to come off the
orange
knife.
just looks like.
There we go.
I'll tell you what though, for a first go, I actually think that's pretty good.
Oh, I don't think I'll be putting this in my list of talents. The trees let me down. Like, what even is that? I don't even think there's a way of fixing it.
How'd that go for you, Katie?
I don't think painting is my hidden talent, but it was fun. Like, I did enjoy doing it, even though it doesn't resemble anything like what his painting looked like. And my mountains and my trees need some serious work. It was fun. Like, I enjoyed doing it, even if, yeah, it's not perfect. It's that I let myself down.
I think you should frame it. That went so much better than. Do you know what it was? Up until that pond at the end, I thought, oh, it's not going to get there, but the pond really brought it round.
Like, what even is this white on the mountain?
The point is, though, you know, it's what was that, like half an hour,
Yeah.
40 minutes, doing something a bit different that we've not done before,
Yeah.
learnt a new skill, even if it's that, you know, Bob's way of doing trees is not the way you want to do trees,
No.
which is fine.
But it was fun and I did enjoy it. And it was a nice way of spending half an hour.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed. Let us know what you think. Have you got anything else to say?
No.